I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I'm surprised I haven't done an episode like this a long time ago. I felt like this probably should have been one of my first few episodes, but no. So overall, I know that there are people out there where you might get into that conversation of sneakers, and I remember, like, before I was a sneakerhead, when people would come to me and they would start talking to me about sneakers, fam, I had no idea what they were talking about. So I was like, bro, what are these words that you're speaking? It's English, but at the same time it's not English. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But nah, man, like, getting into the sneaker business, it's one of those things where it's like there's a lot to discuss. Like, the sneaker world it's not even a world, it's literally a universe, because you got where Nike is probably gonna be the biggest planet when it comes to, like, the sneaker world. Then you got Adidas, where it's like it's big, but at the same time, like, you know, it ain't really all like that big and stuff. Like, it's, you know, it's livable, but it ain't like, okay, like, there ain't too many things I can wear with Adidas shoes and stuff, depending on what kind of shoes they are. Like, if it's Yeezys, then okay, but if it's like, you know, some superstar Adidas, yeah, you know, there ain't gonna be too many people like rocking that with like a Nike outfit versus like Yeezys. It's like, yeah, it's, you know, there's like Yeezys, Air Jordan 1s, Air Force Ones. There's like some shoes where they're just universal, where it's like you can blend them in and all that stuff. But then there's others where it's like, no, it's not gonna really work out that well and stuff. So it's probably best, you know, to kind of just leave them in its own little world and things. But yeah, man, the sneaker universe, it's crazy. Like, from when I very first got into sneakers all the way up until now, I've definitely probably seen like thousands of different pairs of sneakers. And I know people are probably like, bro, only like a few pairs of shoes should ever exist. Rightfully so, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you got your fashionable people out there where it's like, nah, man, I want those Air Jordan 1s, but I want them in red, yellow, and, you know, in black or something. Like, I want them in a bunch of different color schemes, you know, or patterns. I want them, like, you know, to look different from these. Like, I'm telling you, there's so many. It's like, talking on sneakers is overwhelming at times because there's so much to discuss. Like, okay, which shoe should you have for the gym? Which shoe should you have for running? Which shoe should you have for jogging? Which shoe should you have for walking? Which shoes should you have for just standing around? You know, your lifestyle shoes, your business shoes. Like, bro, I'm telling you, the sneaker universe is insane. Like, I could go on and talking about sneakers, and I feel like I've done episodes where I have talked on sneakers, but not like this. I feel like this episode requires a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of thinking, a lot of, you know, just a lot of stuff. All right, so anyways, so yeah, let me just kind of tell y'all a little bit of my history with sneakers, because my history goes deep with sneakers, because I didn't start getting into I got into sneakers late. I didn't start getting into sneakers until I was probably about 19, 20 years old. So it was like 2016, 2017. So, and before then, like, because I know, like, when I got into content creating back in 2015, like, even then, because as you guys can see, like, I'll do sneaker videos from time to time on my main channel, but I also have a channel where it's just dedicated about talking on sneakers. Make sure you go check out my sneaker channel, Sneakers Insight. I don't upload videos daily on that channel, but there's quite a few videos on that channel and stuff. So, but anyways, no, like, when I had got into content creating, even then, like, the sneaker culture wasn't really something that was like on my mental and stuff. It wasn't until maybe like later on next year after 2015 or the year after it was 2017. That's when I had really started getting into shoes and stuff. So, but no, like from that first day of going, and I still remember I went in the Famous Footwear. I got these Nikes, still have those Nikes to this day. Don't really wear them outside that much, but anyways, I went in there, went to go get these Nikes. Then I remember I went and wore them at the old cafe job I used to work at. And no, it was like the one chef that worked there. Because he was in the already like in the sneaker culture. Because I remember there was a day where he brought out these yellow and black Jordans, and I'm like, fam, I thought you might have like a good like one pair. Nah, he had quite a few. He said he had like a whole closet of just sneakers and stuff. So no, I remember he wore these black and white Air Jordan 1s, and I'm like, hey, those are actually kind of hard. Like, no, I didn't realize it was like that. Like, you like, and they didn't look like they were dirty or anything. Like, they look brand new out the box and stuff. So, no, it was like, he was already in the sneaker culture, but I remember he approached me, and he was all like, oh, like, those are the Air Jordan 1s? And I'm like, the what? I'm like, I don't know about all that. I'm like, nah, man, they just some Nikes at Famous Footwear. Then he sat me down. He was telling me about, like, how, like, like just about like Air Jordan 1s and stuff. And then that's when so it was funny because like those were like probably the first pairs of shoes and like when I had started like getting into sneakers and stuff. But I actually had started going more into the Adidas route. And so yeah, I remember I got me a pair of it was the EQT ADVs, I think, and it's like Equipment and Advanced. I think that's what its overall stands for. But EQT ADV. Is it the 9117 or 9116? Let me see what these ones are. Oh yeah, so is the 91. They still sell these? No. Dang, no, there's no way those shoes are going for that much. Dang, a size 10 is $2,000. Nah, cause there's some Adidas ADV EQT. That's crazy. Cause nah, there were some that they ain't really selling for that much anymore. Cause I was about to say, I'm like, bro, I still got me a couple of pair. Those ones ain't really going for a whole lot. There's like ones they came out a few years back, but yeah, I guess people ain't really messing with them anymore. Cause yeah, it was like these shoes. I remember at one point I was just always seeing these shoes in store, and I felt like these were like the Adidas kind of like starting their way. Dang, even these shoes. Oh no, there's still some where it's like you can't really find the colorways and stuff, but. Yeah, I was like, oh, dang, man, it kind of is like bringing me back to when I very first got into sneakers and things. But anyway, so I went ahead, got those, and then I remember I went to Louisiana, and I got me another pair of Adidas, and I remember I was wearing them in GameStops, and I talked on this guy before, the guy that got me into sneakers, because no, it's like he should have his like own episode dedicated to him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even really know that much about Adidas and stuff. But anyways, I remember he approached me, he was all like, this is the second time somebody approached me talking on some shoes, and I didn't know nothing about it and stuff. So then he comes up to me, I was in GameStops, and he was all like, are those the Boost? Or are those boosted? And I'm like, and I knew he was talking about my shoes, because I was like, I don't know what else. I'm like, I got on a basic outfit. There ain't nothing in this video games, in GameStops that requires a boosting. So he has to be talking about the shoes. And I'm like, nah, man. I think they just the regular pairs, because I ain't know. Like, my thing, this is how I would shop for sneakers back then. If it was a colorway that I like, that's how I overall like chose and knew which sneakers I like. But other than that, I was like, I didn't know any like details about the shoes until I really started getting invested into the sneaker culture. And that's when I was like, oh, these are boosted, but these aren't boosted, but they look exactly the same. And then it's like with Air Jordans, I'm like, those are of course, like you could tell the difference between like some low tops and some high tops, but then there's also that middleman, the mid tops, where it's like, like I remember when I very first got into, when I got my first pair of Air Jordans, I didn't realize they was like the mid tops, and then they got like the retros, where it's like they came out before and then they're releasing them again and stuff. And so I was like, yeah, there was like a lot that I didn't really know too much about when it came to sneakers, but I was like, oh, okay, yeah, these shoes are chill, these are cool. And I'm like, bro, just again, getting overwhelmed. I'm like, just jumping the gun. I'm trying to like go over all that history and stuff, and then in a span of like of a podcast episode. It's a lot, man. I'm like, I wish I would have did an episode like this, like when I had created my podcast when I very first got into sneakers, so I could have just went based off of what I'm was going through right then and there when I was getting, because it's, bro, it like, again, it is a lot. All right, like I said, the sneaker culture, it requires a lot of patience, because when you get into it, and then there's so much, like, my thing is this. Because you could go into like a Nike outlet store, an Adidas outlet store, and you might just see like the common pair. Then you might step it up, and then you go to like a Foot Locker or Champs, where they'll have like the common pair, but then they also have a new pair. Then you go to like the reselling stores, where they got like the old, new, the common, the rare, like they got so many different types. And so there's so many different stores that you can go to. There ain't like, oh, can I go and get me like a rare pair of Air Jordan 1s at Foot Locker or Champs? No, if they're selling them. But that's the thing though, it's like you gotta follow like sneaker accounts like on social media, so they could tell you and things when a pair of shoes is coming out. So like, for an example, there's the first pair of Jordans that Michael Jordan ever wore, and there's the bread ones, and then there's the Chicago ones. So with the Chicago ones, because those were the ones that he had to wear, the bread ones, I think those were, or no, the NBA had sent him a letter saying that he couldn't wear those shoes, because and that's the crazy thing about it. They don't trip about that now, but back then there was like a very strict dress code in the NBA. So Michael Jordan, he wears these Air Jordan 1s that's like the main colors on it was black and red, aka that's what the bread stands for. So it's not spelled like bread, like, like a loaf of bread at a store. He spells it BRED. So it's like the B part is, of course, like, yeah, it's the, the initial for black, and then it ends off with the red and stuff. So just to give you guys a little bit of an explanation of the, the name bread and stuff. But anyways, so yeah, they sent him a letter saying that he couldn't wear the shoes because the shoes are supposed to have like a certain percentage of white on it. The thing is this: if you look up bread 1s, like original bread 1s, it had white on the midsole, but I guess the rest of the shoe had to, also, so it had to pretty much like match with the color scheme of the jerseys and things. But I'm like, if you look, hold on for a second, let me see MJ wearing Air Jordan 1 Chicago. Cause those shoes, there was like, maybe if it would have had like, if it had been I don't know, like, okay, the away colorway, okay, yeah, so I was like, that they actually kind of go with the away colorway of the shoes and stuff. But I was like, when they're wearing the home jerseys, it don't really like go with it. Maybe if the shoe would have had more red on it, and then like it had like that hint of white, then it could have possibly worked out. But yeah, it's like them shoes, they didn't even really go with the home jerseys. They went with the away jerseys. Yeah, then it was like with the, all right, maybe if they would have had it where, I think if they had made it where like the home jerseys would have been like black with the hint of red and white on it, then I feel like that the bread 1s could have worked out. And then it's like, yeah, then the Chicago 1s, I'm like, that was more so for the away jerseys and stuff. But yeah, it was like, and then they actually, no, now looking at it again, oh, no, yeah, no, because those are the Chicago 1s. So I was like, yeah, maybe if he wore the bread 1s with that black and, yeah, with the black home colorway and stuff of the jerseys, I'm like, yeah, it could have possibly worked out and things. There is these ones where I'm like, they kind of, no, I'm like, yeah, it's somewhere. It's like, I don't know. I would have to like see them in things with those said jerseys, because I was like, yeah, they didn't really match. But that's the thing though. If you look at the sneaker culture now, and I think that's just how it is, like with sneakers, especially in basketball, they're not supposed to match, with whatever you got going on. Because I'm like, yeah, I know there's people out there where they want to be like color coordinated, with their sneakers and stuff and with their outfit. But when you see like, especially back then in the 90s, and you see that a lot of times, like even now, like how like the 90s fashion had like a lot of influence on today's fashion, where stuff, it's just wild, So like, yeah, you'll see at times like there's sneakers that I have where they have so many wild colors on them. I'm like, bruh, this would have definitely been a dope sneaker to wear in the 90s and stuff. So that's why I was like, the NBA, I was like, yeah, you guys was a little bit behind on the culture and stuff, because yeah, it's like the sneaker culture. And then so no, they actually kind of talk on that a little bit in the Last Dance documentary about the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, and all that. There's a movie that that some Air Jordan shoes were featured in. It was this movie called Do the Right Thing. It's a Spike Lee movie, and they kind of like talk on like sneakers and stuff a little bit in there. But that movie, that's what I think what they were saying in the Last Dance documentary was that movie had a lot of influence in the sneaker culture. Once when people seen like how serious the sneaker game was, they were like, oh, well, I gotta bring out my pair of sneakers. I gotta wear my pair. I gotta like really showcase my sneaker collection and stuff. And so yeah, it was back then. It just seemed like that like the sneaker game. Because if you look at the prices for some of like the shoes compared to now, bro, and it tripped me out. So they had like back then you could get you a pair of Air Jordan 1s for like $60. Now it's like and that's like the Chicago and the bread ones and stuff. Nowadays it's like no, them shoes are costing like $200. And what's crazy is that they're not even using the same material. So it's like that's kind of like a minus in my opinion, because it's like, fam, if you gonna be charging $200 for some shoes, I'm like, I don't know, maybe because the material, it lasts a little bit longer compared to the material that they were using back then. Because back then, I'm like, I don't know, like that's something where I'm like, I guess I would have to have a real leathered shoe and then have like a synthetic leather shoe and just see throughout the time, like wear both of those shoes every day, for a whole year and stuff, or for however many years up until just seeing which shoe collapses first. But yeah, and I know people are gonna probably ask that question too, like, can shoes get old? Yes, shoes can 100% get old. That's why you see it where they're releasing old colorways or they'll release like a brand new shoe but with an old colorway. And so it'll be like, so yeah, for an example, not too long ago, they came out and they made it have that old look, but they couldn't really perfectly get that old look down, because if you actually see how a pair of old Air Jordan 1s look, those shoes are like badly damaged. You would like, if people, and the crazy thing is that they'll be like unworn, brand new, but it's like you'll see where the colors are like discoloring, so they'll turn yellow. What are some other like so then the leather would kind of like crack up and break apart and things. So it like it looks like it's an old looking shoe and stuff. But no, they tried to recently do that though with the Air Jordan 1s, where they came out with the Chicago 1 colorway, but they made it look old looking. And then, but it's a brand new shoe, and so yeah, it's with sneakers, it's like they do that a lot. They release them because they, even with the breads, they release these patent leather bread ones, so they do that a lot. So, but no, it's like if you try to like wear a pair of the old like Air Jordan 1s that came out back in the 80s, not like the ones that came out just this year, but it's supposed to be based off of the one that came out. No, you're wearing the one that actually came out in the 80s. Like you're wearing that one that Michael Jordan was wearing. Like, yeah, if you wear that one, then yeah, it's gonna most likely break apart. I don't know. I feel like there's a better way I can explain it. So, all right. So actually, no. If you look inside a sneaker and you're kind of confused, like, okay, well, this is an Air Jordan 1 and somebody's telling me that it came out in the 80s and I don't want to get scammed out of my money. So that's actually a way that you can find out when a shoe is if it's old or new, especially if you're new to the sneaker game. So what you're going to want to do is look inside the shoe, and there's going to be a white tag in there. They'll have like the sizing and all these other like words and stuff, but also they're going to have a date in there. So let me see which pair of shoes that might have that. All right, there's these one pair of shoes that I have, these Air Jordans, where it's like, yeah, it's right here on the side, and it shows that the shoes were in production from 2021 to 2022. So if they have a production date in the inside of the shoe, then yeah, that's how you know that it's like that shoe and stuff, or it's a newer shoe. But if the production date says like 1980 something, then yeah, that's how you know it's the older shoe. Because I know people will look online and then you'll see like, oh, well, I want the pair of Air Jordans that came out back in the 80s. If you wanted to get one of the Air Jordan, let me see, Air Jordan 1 Chicago Chicago 1985. StockX. Okay, so yeah, StockX and GOAT. Let's open those two pages up. So if you wanted to get a pair of the Air Jordan 1s, all right, so if you wanted to get them in my size, the original pair of Air Jordan 1s, they will cost you $33,581 versus if you wanted to get the ones that just came out this year or last year, hold on for a second. Yeah, Lost and Found, where it looks just like the Air Jordan 1, but it's just newer. Those will cost you $407. So it's like, really, at the end of the day, how much do you want to spend on those shoes? And then on GOAT, that's somebody's charging hold on for a second. Somebody's really charging $2,000 for these shoes. And those are the old ones. And they're charging $2,000 for them. And them shoes, they are busted, bro. They are busted. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't trust it. They do look like the old pair and stuff. And I actually, I think if I had that type of money to just, be thrown out there, I possibly would get me a pair. But I'm like, nah, I'm fine. I'm fine with the ones that I got now. Because the ones that I got now, I'm like, yeah, I ain't got to worry about those shoes going out no time soon. Because, no, that's the thing, though. If you wear, like, a pair of shoes that came out back in 1985 and you're trying to wear them in 2023, no, those shoes can bust on you. So that's why I'm like, definitely check those production dates, because, and then, so yeah, somebody might try to, like, scam you, talking about, oh, yeah, especially if you're new to the sneaker game, and then you're like, oh, I want to get a pair of Air Jordans that Michael Jordan was wearing himself. You want to make sure that it has, like, the production date of 1985 in it. But if you're like, oh, well, I want to get the ones that came out this year, then yeah, check that production date. But no, there'll be people out there where it's all like, oh, it's especially if they know that you're new to the sneaker culture, then they'll probably be like, oh yeah, no, these are the ones that Michael Jordan, these are the ones that actually came out and they were released in 1985. These aren't the new ones. These aren't the ones that just released this year. No, these are the old ones, bro. So yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it'll only be $1,000 or $2,000 or something. You go out and buy it, and then it's the ones that cost like $200, $400. Now you done gave this person, you done got scammed out of your money. That's what I'm saying. It's like, definitely be careful of that. Be careful of that, scammers, and be careful of fake shoes. Now, yes, that exists, and I know people are probably like, bro, they're just shoes. Well, how do you create a fake version of a shoe? If it's a popular colorway, trust me, there is a fake version of that. Even if it's not, bro, there's these one pair of shoes. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can Nike Vapor Max 2018. I think, is it 2017 or 2018? No, this is the 2017s. 2017 fake. And they was like, no, and there's like, even with the new ones, there's like, they even got like a fake version of the Vapor. So it's like, if it's like popular colorways or like the popular but rare brands, like, so Nike has this like deal with this brand called Off-White, where they got like these Air Jordans and other Nike shoes where they they're just really popular and stuff, and people will create fake versions of those shoes. So you'll look online thinking I'm down, man, I ain't got me a deal. Like, I only had to StockX and GOAT, they were selling these shoes for $5,000. I got them on this website for $90. Oh, I got me a deal. You didn't. You got you a pair of fake shoes. And I know some people don't mind buying the fake shoes. So I guess, like, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter. But if you want to avoid that, then yes, go to reliable, like the real, like, go to Nike.com or Foot Locker or Champs or, wherever. And it's funny because there was a time I remember I bought me a pair of shoes from Foot Locker. And somebody commented on the video. And I'm like, Foot Locker is like a legitimate store. And I remember I made a video on some shoes, and somebody was like, those shoes are fakes. And I'm thinking to myself, I know where I bought these shoes at. So if Foot Locker, I highly doubt, hold on for a second, does Foot Locker sell fake shoes? Somebody was like, so no, they don't sell fakes. there's like yeah, so it was just, that's like the first off of Reddit and things. I'm like, but because the thing is this, if it's like some guy and he's out in the parking lot and he looks sketchy and he open up the trunk to a Honda Civic talking about, oh yeah, I got these Jordans, they're dirt cheap and things, you know, just give me $20 for them and stuff. Now it might be a person that just really want to get rid of his shoes, but then also it's gonna probably be a high percentage where it's like, no, those shoes are probably fakes. So no, that's why it's like, go always get them from, like, you know, reputable places and things, like actual legitimate places. But there is ways that you can, there's like kits and things I think they have where you can test to see if a shoe is real or fake, because I know I was watching that for a little bit, a guy on YouTube where he was he would be able to, he could just look at a shoe. And that's another thing where it's like, I guess you'll be able to, like, if you have like a real pair and then a fake pair, yeah, you'll be able to see whether or not that they're fake. Me, I've never seen a fake pair of shoes, and so that's why I'm like, I don't know, you know, because sometimes with those fakes, they make them look as real as possible and stuff. So, but no, there's like those people that really specialize in sneakers and stuff. They and I know people will probably be all like, well, I'd be able to tell the difference. Like I said, I've never had a fake pair of shoes, so maybe if somebody were to approach me and they're all like, hey, I want you to do a video on these fake shoes, then yeah, that'll probably be the only way. But other than that, I'm like, nah, bro, I wouldn't be able, now I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And you'd think I would be able to, as long as I've been a sneakerhead and stuff. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just some shoes out there, you know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of, you know, you won't be able to tell the difference in things. But anyways, and that being said, I feel like there's definitely more that I can talk on. I feel like there's some stuff that I missed out on, but this might just overall be like an introduction, you know, getting into the sneaker culture and stuff for you know, beginners and things. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching in or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. And if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And if you are purchasing any energy drinks from Rogue Energy, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. That will knock 10% off of your next purchase. Thank you guys for watching in or listening, and peace.